Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Vijaya Nair. I am the founder of programs at GoBeyondStress.com and SoulAccessMeditations.com. I also have a website, GoBeyondStress.com, and the DrVijayanair.com, where you can contact me and connect with me if you have questions. This is a very special video series that I'm doing on the financial freedom and abundance. And there is a crucial word in here I want to add: lasting financial freedom and abundance. So what is it that within us we can have this unlimited source of abundance? And why is it that sometimes, when we feel stuck in life, because we haven't manifested the lasting happiness and abundance that you want? So what I propose to do in this video is not go through the whole course, but I want to give you a segment of what are the 5 keys to cultivating an abundant mindset that you can put in place right now. And there is a special bonus I'm going to give at the end if you stay to the end of this video. And that is a very, very powerful prayer to change your entire vibration within. Because we know we have to go within to manifest from that foundation the kind of beauty in life, and be able to see the beauty in life from where we are. So that is what is called an expansive state of mind. And if you're coming from a contracted state of mind, which is fear and worry and stress, that is not a foundation to manifest anything beautiful or happiness or peace for your life. Because contracted states of anxiety, depression, worry, financial fears, whatever they are, and you may say, well, that's real, but that fear, when you have that, it's not a good place to manifest anything beautiful. It only manifests more fear and more anxiety and more worry. So if you want to get to the source of it, to really nip it in the bud and manifest from your true self, the true self is it's perfect, whole, complete. Each of us vibrate at the deeper level of all the fears and anxieties we have in our life from that true source. So how do we get there, right? So today we are talking about a very short segment about the 5 keys to cultivating an abundant mindset. So when we talk about anxiety and fears, I don't seem to have, or scarcity thinking, I don't have the time or the money to do what I want. It's a lot harder and more harder for ourselves to be grateful and appreciative for what we have in our life, because we don't have the bandwidth. We're so focused on worrying and being anxious. The fact is that anxiety is so big that easily replaces that calm sense of abundance and fulfillment and gratitude that you may have in your life, or that we all have an experience at the deeper level of our true self. And the fact is, most of us living in the modern world experience some fear around not having enough money, right? You might think that your fears are unavoidable and that you can't feel better until you have enough money or financial security. Unfortunately, that's not where financial security comes from, having a lot of money in your bank account. So before you turn off this video, continue to hear what I have to say, because it has to reach a deeper part of you. According to a lot of experts in the world on this topic, the mindset of abundance begins exactly there, in the mind. The concept of abundance doesn't just belong in your external surroundings or in your bank book. It actually belongs in your mind. And think about it. Do you believe that you lack something because you haven't found a creative way to solve the problem? Or do you believe that there's really not enough to go around, or unfair stuff always happens to me and there's not much I can do about it? So what do you believe? It's very crucial because you want to cultivate a belief that gives rise to abundance. And it's not something that most of us have been taught. However, there's something that we can commit to learning. And in fact, there are 5 fundamental keys to start cultivating an abundant mindset. And the most important thing to realize is before even you begin, that you're always, always, always processing stuff in your life. Your thoughts, words, and deeds. You're always processing stuff in your life. And there's an input and output forming a feedback. The input is the term for all the experiences that come your way during the day, while output is all your responses, your thoughts, words, and actions. You are the one who oversees both. You sift through the input, evaluate it, and take what you like, while rejecting that you don't like. So nothing is more crucial than your contribution to the feedback loop. You are the one who colors everything that comes to you. And you really want to get that there is no right or wrong about this. It's just that no input is neutral because you're emotionally invested in your experiences. And sometimes, I had this conversation with some of my clients here, and it's like, you don't see, it's like the fish, swimming in the water. The fish doesn't know it's swimming in the water. It's just swimming, right? Similarly, we are so caught up in our beliefs that we don't see it. And unfortunately, some beliefs are like, not helping us cultivate what we want. So on the other end of this process, when you produce output, you again color it in the same way. Your thoughts, words, and actions indicate how involved you are in your life. Thus, the circle of personal reality is shaped every minute of the day. Abundance reveals itself when you build a feedback loop that can accept and build upon what life has to offer. That means not resisting what life is giving to you, but just allowing it in, and just being, enduring the pain of whatever the thought or whatever the wall that is coming in. Just be with it, because life is throwing that at you. And you don't want to react from your ego part of your mindset, right? You want to respond from your deeper self. And many of us, face it, we are not very patient people, right? We are very tense and very, very stressed out. And if you have that problem, it's very, very important that you learn to quieten your mind, because the problem, whatever you resist, will persist. So you want to see, well, how can I stop this pattern, of reacting rather than responding? So, and this time you want to respond with abundance, and you want the universe to give you your abundance. And it's like the familiar story of a lottery winner, right? You know that their lottery winners are worse off 10 years after their sudden windfall. Most of them are. Why? Because they couldn't adapt. They processed life on a limited scale, and suddenly they were asked to process millions of dollars, massive attention, public exposure, and the demands of people around them. Unless you have prepared the way, abundance itself can turn into a drain on you. The secret is constantly build your capacity to create a new belief system in thought, word, and deed, one that can accept higher and higher levels of opportunity. So there's no point just saying, well, I believe that, I believe this, I believe that. When you really talk to such people, they superficially may say, oh, I believe that. But they're not in alignment. Their life, you can see, is not in alignment with the laws of the divine principle, of the reality, as we call it, right? They haven't made the shift. Oh, yeah, I believe. Okay, I don't have to look at it because I believe in it. That's not true. So it takes a little bit more depth, a step back, look in and see that belief that you think you have, it's all contaminated by inner, the dysfunctional belief systems. There are many, many dysfunctional belief systems that cloud, oh yeah, I believe in that, universal principle that what you resist, will persist, or you will receive what you give, right? And there are many, many little laws out there, but that's not what the universe or the divine or God or spirit, really wants us to have and understand in thought, word, and deed, how to manifest our own birthright, our own abundance, right? So we want to look at what these 5 keys are in helping us cultivate that very, very important mindset, right? The first key is turning negativity into a positive action. So a negative expectations, take one thing that you feel negative about, that you had this expectation and it didn't turn out, right? And before the day is out, right, take a positive action that diminishes the negativity. Very important. You can't just say, I believe in this. No, you have to take a positive action, because without action, there is no shift that's going to happen. And many of the ancient texts, speak about if there's no internal shift in the mindset of the person, no inner transformation, outer manifestations of wealth and abundance cannot happen, right? So it has to start with the inner self. So that means you have to put what you realize and negativity, turn it into a positive action, right? So do it. Whatever small step it is, do it. And that could mean standing up for yourself, speaking your truth, fixing what cannot be fixed, and fixing what can be fixed, right? And trying, right? And asking for help, seeking wise advice, walking away from things that you cannot control and you cannot deal with, but you tried it and said, no, this is, beyond my capacity. Walk away, ask for help, okay? And you can reduce the stress in your life by looking at your role in creating the negative situation. What was my role in creating this negativity in my life? The possibilities are endless. What's important to recognize is that by even taking the smallest of actions, things begin to change. And it changes because the feedback you get is so invaluable. Oh, this worked, this didn't work. Oh, wow, I didn't see this before. That is an important feedback. The second thing is, don't indulge in the voice of futility. That's our inner critic. It's hopeless. I'm helpless. Nothing will change or get better. Everyone hears these words. The voice of futility persists because when we all as little children, we felt helpless and hopeless at times. If you indulge it, as you're mature, as you're older now, it will put you down to its level of, again, its negativity, it's futile. So reject the temptation to indulge in a defeatist point of view. Tell yourself, this negative voice isn't me. This negative voice isn't me. 5 words. I have more than that, right? So right now, I don't see a way, but gently but firmly reject this idea of futility. Just because your thought, came up, that is futile. Just keep looking at it, keep breathing into the feeling of it, locate it in your body, put a hand where you feel that feeling is the heaviest. It could be in your heart, it could be in your throat, it could be in your solar plexus. Just breathe into it. Every negativity and that stressful thought and feeling is in your body. So put your hand there, one hand on your heart, one hand on your part of the body where it resides, and just breathe. So these are examples of tools that we can use immediately in that moment when we hear the voice of futility. So pause, stop, go into the body where it resides, and you will know in a few minutes, sometimes 5, sometimes 10 minutes, oh, an answer came, and you're quieter, your mind is quieter now, and you can see different perspective, right? So pay attention to that voice. right? And remind yourself that the original inner critic voice was wrong, that maybe there's another path, but I don't see. So go into your body, feel the pain, the tension, breathe into it, and stay there until the level of intensity of that tension is brought down. We've done this experiments with so many people, even when they're going through horrific disease states and difficult mental, situations that they are faced in, stressful situations. And it always helps to go into the voice within your heart, not the inner chatter in your head. Right? So the third mindset or cultivation key is expanding your awareness. The greatest enemy to abundance is contraction. When you find yourself in a very, very tight situation, feeling there's no way out, drawing a blank when you try to think of a new solution or looking for new opportunities, what you can do is like realize, first of all, I'm carrying a heavy burden. And there's signs of contraction, stress in my body, mind, and spirit, right? And expansion is the best friend of abundance. It brings in the light, opening up new possibilities. So in a relaxed and open state, your awareness can see further and life isn't so confined. I gave one example of how to expand even in the state of stress or pain. What else works? First, you need to understand what's happening. The brain has a natural mechanism for resettling itself and getting back into balance. Give this mechanism a chance by setting aside time, even if it's just a few minutes, for peace and quiet, right? Being under pressure and putting up with noise and stress and never stopping to relax is counterproductive. So go into this quiet place, sit with your eyes closed, let yourself become centered again. Practice meditation, practice breath work, right? In the lasting financial freedom and abundance courses, I program here, I teach you so many examples of how you can quieten your mind, given all the different situations you'll be in, either the office or at work, with a loving partner, and or with having communication issues with your partner or family member, or a child, especially teenagers. How can you quieten your mind so that you can arrive at a safe place? And I see many business owners here and entrepreneurs, and they are so messed up inside that it's like they believe that everything outside is real, and it sort of puts them in a fearful, contracted state. That's not the greatest place to manifest abundance in life. So when we reverse it, it's like, wow, I see opportunities everywhere. And that's a wonderful, wonderful place to be in. So let yourself be centered always. And if you know that you're veering out of the center place, your anxiety will come back, your depression, your sadness, your worry thoughts, your regret thoughts, those are all indications. Hello, is anybody home? Your higher self, where are you? So quieten down, take time out, go into the part of your body where that stressful, painful feeling is, put a hand over there and just breathe, right? Close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe into what we call the eye of the storm, the eye of the hurricane, and just breathe. Or just take 5 deep belly breaths, right? And then you notice that you calm down. And then look at the situation again. And you notice that in a few minutes, sometimes it takes a day or two, but you definitely are looking in the right direction. And we talk a lot about what are the tools we can use. What is the direction to turn, right? So the fourth step is of the 5 keys, right? The fourth key is take full responsibility, right? Don't play the victim role here. If you want a radical cure for being a victim of lack, here it is. Victims are dominated by external forces and other people, situations, circumstances. And since outside forces cannot be controlled, it seems natural to give up responsibility for the bad things in your life. And I can't help it. It's like a poisonous seed that keeps multiplying and growing. To reverse it, or the solution for this, is to recognize that your situation will change only after you quit looking outside for a solution and you start taking responsibility, even if it means you have to speak up and you have to say something like, I take responsibility for this situation. And you start seeing there's a shift in the other person or situation, and you start seeing what are the things you can do. In effect, actually, when you say, I'm taking responsibility for this situation, you're in fact saying something positive. This is my life. Abundance comes from within. By taking responsibility, you accept everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, as the whole package. Because there's no one little part, the good, I only want the good. No. Take responsibility for the whole package and you'll start seeing things differently. That's your perspective now. It's shifting, right? And the fifth step to cultivating abundant mindset is make full use of your successes. While abundance means there's a flow of good things in unlimited supply, that doesn't mean it all happens all at once, right? Like a thunderstorm, quenching a parched land. It doesn't happen that way. The process of abundance is more like attaining a skill. If you want to master walking a tightrope, you start small and low to the ground, not big and high. So this actually ensures that you will reach your goal, right? Don't set yourself up for failure by short-circuiting the process of abundance. A lot of things, including the wiring in your brain, must become organized around your goal. So every wish brings a result. The world's wisdom traditions teach this lesson. Every wish will bring a result, but they also teach that results can be tiny or mixed or hidden from view because our awareness is limited and distracted. So what must we do? It helps to know that this process will never let you down. That as you expand your awareness and as you become more centered, your every thought and intention actually becomes part of the feedback loop. Once you start believing the science of it, the traditions that talk about it, even before the scientists found out about this, the psychologists, psychiatrists, mental health professionals, there was something in the human traditions all over the world, the spiritual traditions that talked about it. So start little small and know that every wish that you put out, every thought that you put out in the universe of consciousness will come back. And mastering the art of cultivating this abundant mindset is just one important step in opening the universal flow of abundance while following your heart and fulfilling your highest purpose, because that is the purpose of abundance. I hope you found this talk helpful, and I just want to leave you, as I promised you in the beginning, with a very, very important prayer that I use every day, right? So a hand on your heart. You can close your eyes if you want, if you can. So don't do this if you're driving or operating heavy machinery, but just put in a hand on your heart and, just repeat after me, whether silently or loudly. I experience profound gratitude for everything and everyone I have in my life and for everything that I continue to manifest. I experience profound gratitude for everything and everyone I have in my life and for everything that I continue to manifest. I always receive what I am in harmony with, and I am grateful for my health and well-being. my loving relationships, my meaningful work that I am in love with, and the time and money freedom to be, do, and have what I desire. I joyfully embrace each new day with gratitude. So keep repeating this powerful gratitude prayer. And just spend a few moments in meditation, in peace and quiet, and then write down automatic writing, the insights that you get from within. Thank you. Namaste.